Truth Seeker. It is Sunday, July 20th, 2025, and the Chump's at it again. He says, rename the Washington Commanders the Redskins or else. And I just want to let you guys know I'm floating the idea. You guys can get back to me. I'm thinking about rebranding the channel again, and I'm thinking about just calling the channel Confirmation Bias. It's a critique waged so often by people who've done no research on the work. They just say, "Oh yeah, gematria is just all confirmation bias," and it's really irritating to listen to. But I'm thinking, you know what? That's the word in everybody's mind, or the words in everybody's mind. Maybe that'll resonate more with the masses, and maybe they'll actually think about if this is confirmation bias, what I'm presenting every day, because I know the record. These people who claim it's confirmation bias versus yours truly. Again, I don't mean to sound like an arrogant asshole, but I'm pretty much doing better at everything in life than they are. And that's true for almost everybody out there. And again, they don't have any of the accomplishments yours truly has. We show how this stuff is used to rig the games day in and day out, from the news games that take the minds of these morons who come to these same automatic conclusions because they're bots. From the news games to the sports games to the rig market games to the crypto games. Again, anyone, just trying to slight this knowledge, it's just these people are a joke. And confirmation bias is actually what they have. Again, what I present on was over a decade's worth of trying to understand them. And then when I reached to understanding, worked really hard at making sure I understood what I thought I understood before presenting it. And it's been undeniable now for nearly 12 years. Come the middle of August, it'll be 12 years of presenting this. And again, just look at this right here. Look at the ritual with Donald Trump. I mean, God, I guess it's confirmation bias. When I first started, 99% of the work I did was in this cipher, because it's the one that's written out in the 1926 book, The Secret Teachings of All Ages. Today is 36 days after Trump's birthday. It's a Sunday, right? Right before football season gets underway. And he's saying, rename the Redskins or I'm going to nix your new stadium deal. Because the Redskins, a.k.a. the Commanders now, again, the Washington Commanders, they renamed by the numbers, if you recall. And then we'll go back and talk about their renaming. And then what happened to a veteran player theirs right after who died days later. We'll go back and revisit that. Again, in this same cipher where Redskins equals 36, Commanders equals 42, like February, they were renamed in February. And then days later, a former player for the team, number 42, died. Not an accident. Of course, the Redskins were the first ever team to win a Super Bowl with a black quarterback, scoring 42 points in the game and recording 4 touchdowns in the second quarter, which is still an NFL record. If the Redskins, a.k.a. the Commanders, make it back to a Super Bowl, and win, they will be 4-2 in the big game. But yeah, some people look at this and just instantaneously they know it's confirmation bias. It's like, how'd you come to that conclusion? Oh, it just automatically riddled off of your program brain. This isn't confirmation bias. This is what's going on in the world. It's called gematria. It comes from Kabbalah, which Donald Trump has mentioned in books he's written, that he even had a Kabbalah teacher when he was a young boy. And it's not to say that Trump's writing these Kabbalistic scripts. He could be. But we see that every person installed in the Oval Office performs these kind of rituals and that they really are puppets on strings. They're actors. And Donald Trump, like Ronald Reagan, who he has a lot of parallels to, they literally are Hollywood actors. But yeah, 36 days after his birthday, on a Sunday, rename it the Redskins or else. And again, about this one cipher and 99% of my work being in it, you want to guess how many days it is before the Redskins open the season? Let me just scroll down here. We'll go over the rest of this, but let me just scroll down a minute. That's right. It's 49 days before they open the season. And it's funny because I know that we liked the... let me show you what happened to the Nationals pitcher today. Where's the Nationals at? You see how today's notes for baseball? Strong narrative for the Padres to beat the Nationals because their pitcher could fall to 4-9, Mr. Gore. Let's see what happened in the Nationals game today. Did the pitcher fall to 4-9? Let's see, did he? Oh, that's weird. He fell to 4-9. Actually, it's not weird at all. And it's not confirmation bias. It's what goes on day after day in rig sports. This stuff happens with the Wizards. It happens with the Redskins, aka the Commanders. It obviously happens with the Nationals. It goes on day after day. And anyway, again, same cipher where I began the research. Because when I started, I did everything by hand. There was no GematriaEffectNews website that made it so easy to do this at this day and age. Again, that website was built by somebody who found my work exposing the rigged NFL, and he was a big Packers, aka Cheesehead fan. And at first he was annoyed by my work and thought it had to be bullshit because no way were his Packers games rigged. Especially me talking about how Aaron Rodgers faked an injury by the numbers, but he looked into it and he said, holy shit, this is obviously true. And then he's been doing the research now since the end of 2016. You know, come the end of 2026, he'll have been at it for a decade. And granted, when he first started the research, he was emulating what I was doing, and I wish he would have kept doing that, because what he has drifted off into, I mean, everybody wants to do their own thing, but he's drifted off into La La Land and does really bad decodes. Anyway, and again, he started saying stuff like this was just too simple, so it couldn't be this. Yeah, if you guys don't know, the GematriaEffectNews website, the calculator I use, that is not my website, it's Derek's. And Derek, you know, for the last 5 or 6 years has been saying things like, oh, this cipher is not that important, and you know, it's so easy to get things that equal 36, so it could be a coincidence. And I don't know if somebody put money in his pocket or what, but again, he's done a disservice to the work. This is what they're doing day in and day out, and it's why it lines up every day this way. And again, also noteworthy, no doubt, again, if you guys are new here, I've shown you a gazillion times how the world of sports championships are synced with the man in the Oval Office. You know, Biden won the 59th election. Last year, his Philadelphia Eagles won Super Bowl 59, beating the Chiefs when the Chiefs and Eagles had last played on Biden's birthday, and the Eagles also beat the Chiefs on his birthday. And, you know, how many times have I shown you championships with Trump? Again, we told you before March Madness began why Todd Golden would win on 4-7 for number 47 in Trump's golden age when Todd Golden's the coach of Florida. And not to mention he got his 76th career win like Donald John Trump equals 76. 76th win with Florida, where Trump spends a lot of time, a lot of taxpayer money flying down there to pay golf. I hate people who are like, oh, Trump doesn't even take a salary. It's like, do you know that he spends like hundreds of millions in flights and Secret Service and Air Force One to play golf? God. He doesn't even take a salary. He's such a generous guy, but he'll spend hundreds of millions of your tax dollars so he can go golfing. Meanwhile, people like yours truly are never taking a day off, going every day straight for going on 12 years and getting hardly any appreciation for it. So you got morons coming by going, oh, that gematria, it's just all confirmation bias as it lines up every single day. Anyway. Football in Ohio, again, it's 29 weeks to the Super Bowl, which will be February 8th, 2026. Football in Ohio, or 29. Again, American football's born in Ohio. You might recall Odell Beckham's 29th birthday. If you forgot what happened on Odell Beckham's 29th birthday, I'll tell you right now. First, I guess just got to show you how. In that same cipher, again, these are the 4-base ciphers, but this dark blue one, Odell Beckham Jr., 56. His birthday's, remember the 5th of November, the day leaving 56 days left in the year. On his 29th birthday, he got shipped from Ohio. He was playing for Cleveland to the Rams just before Super Bowl 56, when in history, the Rams started in Cleveland, and that year the Rams beat the other Ohio team, the Bengals, in the Super Bowl. And again, haters will hate, but again, my call on that game was to take the Bengals at plus 3.5. All the haters were like, oh, you like the Bengals. My advice for the game was take the Bengals 3.5. And Odell Beckham, number 3, to score the first touchdown in Super Bowl 56. Because, yes, the other cipher I began is just the one without numerology, the alphabetic order. And there is a strong relationship with 3 and 56. I was very confident on a 3-point game. And I was very confident in Odell Beckham scoring the first touchdown, which he did at nearly 10-1 odds. So I got haters to this day being like, you got that Super Bowl wrong. It's like, no, I didn't. And I also hit a nice 10-1 player prop. Anyway, this year will be Super Bowl 60, and of course the chump sacrificed his ex-wife in the big 60 ritual before winning the 60th election, and has had a gazillion 60 rituals leading up to this moment, including all the 60 minutes crap. So no doubt Super Bowl 60 will be synced with the chump, and what we do on Patreon is we keep track of all the clues, and You know, almost every season for every major sport, we've been able to nail at least one of the two teams before the season began or early in the season. Almost every year since I've been here for a long time, just nailing futures off of this knowledge. And you have morons coming along in 2025 saying what we're doing is confirmation bias when they probably haven't called a single sports future in their life, you know? Just this year. I mean, what's the resume for this year? Nailed the college football championship, March Madness, the Masters again, the Kentucky Derby again, the NBA Finals. Again, we had the Thunder preseason. They were the Sonics team that won it in 79. They win the 79 season. Super Bowl has a hair off on. Again, we had Chiefs to three-peat preseason, but by having the right team in the game with the preseason future, I told my whole community, you got to hedge with the Eagles because the Eagles did have a great narrative to win. And I wish they didn't, but I'm not surprised they did. They did have good numbers. Anyway, here's another thing I want to point out. Or did I make a mistake here? I might have made a mistake, you guys. I might have made a mistake with this. I did. Shoot. Anyway, Trump's threat does come on the 201st day of the year, that major number with the Jesuits. This actually isn't 177 weeks and 5 days later. I have to fix that. That's my bad. But the 177 and 201 do get paired together a lot. Tonight's Sunday Night Baseball was a 177-201 special. And just to show you what happened, the Rangers stayed on 177 home wins versus the Tigers on the 201st day of the year, getting beat tonight. And did Eovaldi get the loss tonight? He might have. But anyway, here, just to show you this real quick. This is the up-to-the-minute record, Rangers versus Tigers. They're now 177 and 180 versus the Tigers. Again, that 177-201 thing that we talk about all the time. The Jesuit order, numbers that get paired together all the time. So go figure that the Sunday night baseball game just happened to have this combo, right? Go figure. And don't forget, baseball's 54 forwards and backwards, just like Jesuit order, whose logo is the sun. And here we are on a Sunday, the 201st day of the year. And don't forget where it all comes together. Heliocentrism 201, the model that says the sun's at the center of it all, agreed to in the 16th century, the century the Jesuits were created. All right, I need to go back and fix that. It is not 177 weeks later. To go back to the renaming of the team, February 2nd was the day that they renamed. And again, Commanders in that dark blue cipher, the one that I all start. And again, you really do want to know all these numbers up here because they'll use all these numbers and rituals. But the dark blue one is also the most consistent one. So, Commanders 42, renamed them in February. And notice how that ritual happened right before the war popped off with Russia in Ukraine, which was another big 201 ritual. And just to show you what happened right after they renamed the team, let me scroll down here. I have a number of posts on the Washington Commanders by the numbers, but this one, Charlie Taylor. Charlie Taylor dies right after the renaming. The guy who wore 42 for the Commanders just happens to die days later. And the new name, Washington Commanders, 235 and 91. Charles Robert Taylor, 235 and 91. And the thing that gets annoying is people will look at stuff, information like this, and they'll leave a comment like, bruh, ever heard of a coincidence? It's like, bruh, is this the first time you watched a video today? First time you seen a video on my channel? And they'll be like, bruh, he was 80, bruh. Ever heard of confirmation bias, bruh? It's like, God, you got to be so stupid to think this stuff that goes on day in and day out is just confirmation bias, not to mention it's Black History Month. And just with regards to who's running the show, dead 144 days after his birthday. And don't forget the Jesuit University there in D.C. that was a big perpetrator of slavery. Georgetown, 72. Jesuit, 74. Did I say 72? Jesuit, 42. Georgetown, 42. Okay, I don't get a lot of sleep these days. And notice it is 57 and 42. It's interesting because commanders have that number as well, 57, 42. And remember, the year that Georgetown was established was the year that George Washington turned 57 and became recognized as the first U.S. president in the history books. Georgetown established January. Oh my God. I'm like in the other day. Wow, man. I guess I haven't said it long enough. I can't think of the exact date that Georgetown was established. I know it was January of 1789, but then George Washington was inaugurated later that year as the first recognized president at age 57. And remember, there's also a link with the Scottish Rite and the Jesuits. The Scottish Rite share the motto Ad Merum Dei Gloriam with the Jesuits. The 32nd degree, like there's 32 sun rays on the Jesuit Order's logo. So anyway, just coming back to this ritual today, I need to edit the 177 thing. That's a mistake, but the logo for the Redskins, the native, it came from the buffalo nickel. And just take a look. Take a look at, just the overlap here. Redskins 54, buffalo nickel 54, Jesuit Order 54. Again, John Carroll equals 54. He was 54 when he established Georgetown, the first Jesuit university in the nation. Notice Buffalo Nickels also 117 like Redskins. Buffalo Nickels also 72 like Jesuit Order. Again, it's all about the sun. The sun equals 54. The sun moves 1 degree on the astrological wheel every 72 years. It's just like how President Trump equals 72, President Biden 72. Today does have 72 date numerology for the record that Trump makes his demand. Again, 49 days before the season opener for Washington. And about 201, the Nationals. Look at their logo. Look at the way the W is. It's cleverly a 201. And don't forget, one of the most lucrative calls we ever had in terms of calling futures, it was actually one of the years where we didn't have the future right at the start of the year, but we had a really ballsy call at the end of the season. Actually, we had the Astros pretty much all year that year. But we saw that the Nationals could beat the Astros in Game 7, 138 days after Trump's birthday, before they had even clinched a playoff spot. They had to win all of their last games to sneak in the playoffs, and we saw how it was all mapped out for them to get in there, and they did. But it was massive odds at that point to bet on the Nationals to win the World Series in Game 7 over the heavily favored Astros. And here was the thing that year. You see how Nationals is 138? You see how Federal is 138? Their manager, Dave Martinez, is 138, and Donald Trump is 138. Don't forget the Jesuit Order's birthday, August 15th, leaves 138 days left in the year. But we saw that Game 7 was 138 days after Trump's birthday. That was the 115th World Series, like he took office with the 115th Congress and went on the thank you tour, like thank yous 115. Don't forget all the 115 rituals they did with him this prior election, leading up to the election on November 5th. But yeah, you see how Nationals is also 57? So is World Series. If you go back and look, the Astros got their 57th postseason loss when they lost to the Nationals in the World Series. Astros got their 57th all-time postseason loss. And you see our World Series is 69? When the Astros lost to Atlanta in the World Series, they got their 69th all-time postseason loss. We just talked about the former MLB All-Star who just died at 69, who finished his career with Atlanta the day that the All-Star festivities started in Atlanta. Confirmation bias. I really am disgusted by the arrogance of stupid people. It's been a lifelong struggle to deal with these people. And I also get annoyed when people come around here and cry and, Zach, the reason your channel doesn't do better is because the way you talk about people. If you guys could just shut the fuck up, please. This channel used to do great before it was deleted and shadow banned. And look at some of these smarmy assholes that get millions of views who are just dumb as fuck, who have a way more cynical, arrogant, just shit attitude. And it's not, they shouldn't have it because they're morons. They're someone who are fooled by the system and think they're so much smarter because they're reading off the mainstream bullshit and taking a side on it, just like the cabal wants them to. My attitude, I feel, is justified. Living in a world of morons who fall for the bullshit news and who come around here thinking they're holier than thou because they're going, oh, numerology's stupid, bruh. this is all numbers just form patterns, bruh. Don't you know, bruh? No, these are dumb fucking people. And like I've said, really, these people, again, I'm disgusted by these people. These people might as well all be accomplices to murder and ritual sacrifice and everything else going on at the elite level. The things they make songs and movies about, and people think it's just for entertainment. No, this goon in office again, and supposedly half the nation voted for him, a guy who wants to fuck his own daughter, flirts with little girls. No, I'm sorry. This nation's just full of fucking losers. Yeah, and anyone who comes here and cries about my attitude and what I got to say about humanity, you're part of the problem too. So, anyway, no, this stuff does make me sick, though, watching this puppet show go on every day. Here comes another rigged season of the NFL where the morons will file in for the overpriced parking, tickets, food, for some shit show that, and watch, it's the same thing every year. Through like the first 5 weeks of the season, home teams have a major losing record. It like happens every year. It's like, it's just like full middle fingers extended to the fans. Like, look how much money these people pay to go to these games just to watch their teams get humiliated. It's like, it's been the same trajectory for several seasons now. Home teams lose at a high percentage, and then it corrects, and then they win a whole bunch of games. There'll be weeks where like home teams go 14-2, and then they get it back up to 500, and it stays around 500 all year. Same thing every season now. Like, you know, these people are just laughing at the fans. They're like, look at these morons. They keep coming back for more, and every year we up the price of parking by $20, and they still pay it. The beer's $25 this season. The nachos, $20. They're still paying it. The tickets, I mean, they just had to go take out a second mortgage just to bring their family to the game, but they still show up. Look at these fucking morons. And don't tell me it's not like that from the owner's perspective. They know what a society of dolts they live over. Come buy some Go Yum Slurpees. You know? Get your Go Yum Slurpee on the way to the stadium. $1 off. And you can't give that dollar to the bum anymore because everything's digital. You don't have a single cash item in your pocket. Anyway. All right. I got to correct the 177 thing. All right, we went over the 177-201 ritual today in the baseball game. Talk more about baseball, but people don't even like baseball, so we'll skip it. Right before I went live, somebody asked if I can look into the City High singer Robbie Pardlo, dead at 46. I can. But just right away, I mean, how many times, just sticking with that one cipher that I've talked about 1,000 times. How many times have I talked about this? Dead entertainers in 46. Genesis 46 is about sacrifice. The practice of coding numbers into words is associated with the Torah, which begins with Genesis. Again, Genesis 46 is about sacrifice. See how sacrifice is also 62? Torah is 62. Elohim is 62. Garden of Eden is 62. All these things are in the book of Genesis, obviously. But yeah, just 1,000 times I've talked about sacrifice in 46. It's one of these numbers that comes up almost more than any other in celebrity death. And I got to be honest, I don't remember who City High is. I don't remember that group. But I did look at the YouTube channel, and their songs had like tens of millions of views, so they must have had a following. He died on July 17th. Like I always say, you know, all roads lead to Rome. And again, the Jesuits gave us language in the calendar. And who else would sync up the language in the calendar besides a church very much invested in the Bible? The Jesuits are the military order, the church. So he died on July 17th, 17/7. We just talked about the flooding in Kansas City that day, which was 46 days after the city's birthday. I doubt that's related unless I find out this guy's from Kansas City. City High. I'll have to go back and look at their discography real quick. Check that out. Sometimes you look at the numbers and you don't know where it fits until you start to look into like, oh, the discography. And then you're like, oh, well, look at that. 89 days after the hit single or the first album or the birthday. the critic would be like, oh, see, confirmation bias. You're just trying to put it all together. It's like, well, again, the redundant patterns are these people die by specific numbers, and it's commonly a ritual from their birthday to their date of death that usually does go back to the work that they're remembered for. So, again, couldn't confirmation bias just be instantly seeing something that you're unfamiliar with and then coming up with some instant explanation for why you don't need to look into it anymore? To me, that's the real confirmation bias. It says City High split in 2003. The Grammy-nominated group was famed for hits including What Would You Do? I don't remember that song. I remember the Dog Pound Gangsters, Snoop Dogg's associates, had a song called that. Anyway, Robbie Pardlo, former lead singer of the R&B group City High, has died. He was 46. Do you remember what they did to that Stone singer? Let me see. Let me pull this one up for a minute, because this one was blatant. Not Rolling Stone, not Oliver Stone, Angie Stone. She died on 46 date numerology. Hold on. There's a lot to her death, but she died on 46 date numerology. And she died 73 days after her birthday. Sacrifice and ritual sacrifice 46. And her music career, hold up. Her career began in 79. Her career began 46 years earlier. There's been a lot of these since Angie Stone's. I mean, I've talked about celebrity death in 46, but hers just had a whole lot of 46. I remember this. And her album that her death was synced up with was came out on that big Jesuit day, the anniversary of them being recognized by the Roman Catholic Church. I mean, people don't even, last night our community dominated UFC 318. And this stuff's hard to explain to people, but remember, Oklahoma City, April 19th is another big Jesuit day. It's the day in history that Ignatius Loyola became the first superior general. It was UFC 318 last night. One of the fighters on the ticket was McVeigh, right? Oklahoma City bombing. You see how it has the 318 in the base ciphers? UFC 318 main event. I just want you to see this real quick. Max Holloway. Check out this guy's actual name. He beat Dustin Poirier last night. His real name is not actually Max, it's Jerome. You see how he's Jerome Max Holloway? Look at this. Jerome Holloway. Do you see the numbers in his name? Look at Timothy McVeigh. And there was literally a McVeigh fight last night on the ticket. You see this? Jerome Holloway and Timothy McVeigh for UFC 318. A lot of fighters last night became 13-3, and some became 5-2. There was one fight where the guy could become 13-3 for his career, or 5-2 in the UFC. The 5-2 actually hit the blue cipher. But these numbers played all over last night. And then there was one fight where the guy could become 14-4, Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building. And that happened. A lot of these fights were nice upsets last night. And this is the kind of stuff that I've been educating about for over a decade. How sports are used to pay tribute to history, and a lot of times they line up the historical tribute through the gematria. And you got morons coming around going, confirmation bias. No, moron, not confirmation bias. More like genius level research from paying attention for decades. While you're sitting there with popcorn in your mouth, drinking $25 beers like a jerk off, making some asshole who gives the money to... by the way, do you know that the UFC is run by Rahm Emanuel's brother, who's like a mega Israel guy? Where's all that $25 popcorn and beer money going to? Get some Go Yum Slurpees on the way home. All right, sorry. I went off on a tangent because of last night's event. More confirmation bias that paid the bills. Pardlo died on Thursday, July 17th, while surrounded by friends and family in Willingboro, New Jersey. Isn't it always just the same cut? And it's the same paragraph every time for when a celebrity dies. He was surrounded by friends and family. Like, what was he like? given the date rape drug, and then everybody got around and they're all going to get a part of the will, or what? I mean, like, how does this happen when these people always... Somebody out there watching, like, come on, that's an asshole. I'm like, I'm just saying, it's just, does everybody die with their friends and family around them all the time? I feel like that doesn't really happen, especially since almost nobody has any friends or family anymore. But it's just the same bullshit paragraph. How about some explanation of why all these celebrities die at such a young age? 46? No official cause of death has been given, but all of his family and friends knew to gather around him. They just all knew to be, what I just said 30 seconds ago. Was he passed out? Did somebody get to stick the dagger in? Do they get the biggest part of the will? Do they get to collect his royalties now? Well, I mean, like, what is going on in the world of celebrity? Man, we didn't know what he died from or he was going to die, but we were all just gathered there. A representative for the late singer told the outlet that details on memorial service will be shared with the public soon. Hey, the Kabbalist wasn't there to get the date right. They got to confirm. In a statement shared with People, Pardlo's brother, Gregory Pardlo, said, I've been taking shelter in the love of family and in my brother's memory. I'm getting a new Bentley. Even with his body covered in tattoos and the streetwise tough guy persona he cultivated, my little brother will always be a sweet, goofy kid in my eyes. I don't even know that this guy had a lot of money, honestly. It's the record studios that make out off these artists. A lot of them are pretty broke. Pardlo found fame with the group City High, which he formed with his classmates Claudette Ortiz and Ryan Toby in '99. After the trio signed to Wyclef Jean's label, to look into the Wyclef Jean angle. Isn't he in politics now? He'll be gone till November. Booga Basement, they released their self-titled debut album, which included the 2001 hits What Would You Do and Caramel featuring Eve. Eve from the Rough Riders. The band's early success earned them a Grammy nomination for Best R&B Performance by a Duo or Group in 2002. I bet if I heard their songs, I'd recognize it. Because they did have but I just don't remember City High. Their success was a short-lived... You know what? And also, this is like the point in 2001 after you know, the big 11s came down in the 11th state on the 11th of September after Flight A11. I like tuned out from popular culture. I just started like reading a lot of books, trying to figure out what was actually going on in this world and why my fellow man was so stupid and brain dead and just fell for the obvious lies, hook, line, and sinker. Could be why I don't remember this group. Before joining the band, Pardlo and Ortiz, 43, dated in high school. Ortiz then dated band member Toby, 48, and the pair tied the knot in 2004 before divorcing in 2007. In January 2010, Pardlo appeared on A&E's Intervention, where he opened up about his struggles with alcoholism. He said that his alcohol dependency developed after City High split and his family shared. Remember, alcohol equals 33, like Prohibition ended in 33. Brought a lot of devastations to family. It's interesting, just all the 33. Actually, and you know something I just realized about 33 recently? Like a word like people equals 33 and 21. Look how 33 is the 21st composite number. You know, the word Bible is 33 and 21. 21's the sixth triangular number, like man's made on the sixth day. And we have 33 bones in our vertebrae. And, you know, masonry's into Kundalini. And Kundalini is about spiritual ascension up to 33 vertebrae, which controls the nervous system, which is another 33 word. Not system, society's 33. Again, people, person, family, society, you know, and they put this number in our programming all the time. Like 1968, when all the things went down that factored into what happened in 2001, 33 years later, including King George II graduating from, I'm missing a letter, from Skull and Bones, when the alumni are called Bonesmen, graduated in 68, 33 years before 2001. Oh, and I forgot to mention alcohol. Alcohol. It's got the 33 too. And just about the organic side, one of my dad's brothers was born in 66, and he's been like a alcoholic since he was a teenager and just never been able to kick the habit. And sadly, none of us know what happened to that brother. He used to call my house. He'd always call me and say the same thing every morning. He'd be like, "Have I told you before that I'm a doctor and your dad's an asshole?" He'd call almost every morning and say that to make me laugh. Again, my dad comes from a really dysfunctional family. And no, he was not a doctor, but no, in a way it's sad because I don't even know if he's still alive. I don't know what happened to him. Nobody does. He just vanished. And that was in the time of cooties. But yeah, alcohol, man. Alcohol, destructive. Again, if you can use it responsibly, it can be a lot of fun, but destructive for a lot of people. Given to us by the numbers in 33. It says Ortiz denied that her marriage to Toby was the cause of Pardlo's addiction while appearing in the well, how would she know? Was she inside his mind? In a way, that would make sense, right? The love of your life's with your other friend instead. That could be devastating. But when that kind of stuff happens to people, really, you just gotta move on. There's plenty of fish in the sea. You can let it devastate you. Kind of stuff does devastate people. It doesn't have to. After City High, Pardlo formed the R&B band First Take, and they performed with several stars such as Whitney Houston and Lil' Kim, per TMZ. Well, obviously, yeah, these are some big names they're associated with. We all know what happened to Whitney Houston on the 42nd day of the year. Synced up with Clyde Lewis. Sure, he's invested in the Go Yum products. People are grabbing at the 7-Eleven corner star. About confirmation bias, I just got to pull up that article one more time. Forward. Let's go over confirmation bias. 7-Eleven secret gematria history. Hold on, let me pull this up. The secret Jewish history of 7-Eleven. You know, they sell the Go Yum products. Hold up, you guys. I realize my phone is getting blown up. All right, nobody in the chat is saying they can't hear me, so all right, good. I don't know why people are blowing up the chat, but I think we're good. I think you guys can hear me. I'm about to say, oh my God, this better not be another stream where there's no sound. Again, just 7-Eleven, if you guys didn't know, it is named after gematria, just for the record. A lot of things in this world have a secret gematria history behind them. For all the confirmation bias people. All right, let's see if we can figure out more about this City High discography. And when was this guy born? Robbie Pardlo, R.I.P. Robbie Pardlo. He doesn't have a Wikipedia. Born August 13th, dead July 17th. So he died 27 days before his birthday then. Again, it's not just dead at 27. You know, everyone knows about the 27 Club, but Rituals 27. Overdose has that 103 connection, which is the 27th prime. A lot of people in the 27 Club are supposedly dead from ODs. Right now, from Robbie, we don't know what the cause of death is. I'm sure they'll come out with a gematria perfect one in the days ahead. It appears this What Would You Do was their big song, since it's mentioned everywhere. What would you do? Let's see if that factors in. All right, hold up. Let's see their discography here. Their debut album came out on the 142nd day of the year. And remember, there's a relationship with 142 and 42. If you just spell out 42, it equals 142. So May 22nd was the anniversary. He died July 17th. The album turned 24 this year, the reflection of 42. So he died 56 days after the anniversary. And again, just numbers that come together a lot. Society of Jesus, 56. Jesuit Order. The Jesuit Order, excuse me. Got to throw that in front of it. The Jesuit Order, 177. And we talked about this pattern in quite a big way just the other day on July 17th, where there were some other deaths. One of them was the Eagles player who wore 56. And then the Annabelle thing, Brian Brahman. Hold on, I'm trying to remember all the deaths from that day because I know that there was a pattern there. Damian Lillard, Mr. 56. Yeah, Felix Baumgartner was another one. Dead at 56 on July 17th. And dead in Italy, where the Jesuits are from. Brian Brahman, number 56. And again, dead 74 days after his 38th birthday. He won Super Bowl 52, dead from brain cancer 52. Run it in reverse 74. I literally cannot comprehend the mind of a lemming. How they look at these presentations and they walk away with, this is all confirmation bias. Like, really? Really? That he won Super Bowl 52 and is dead from brain cancer 74 days after his birthday, and his full name equals 59, and he's announced dead right after the Eagles won Super Bowl 59, and he's dead 158 days after the Super Bowl when Freemasonry is based in this shit, and it's credited to Walter Camp, and he's literally dead 158 days after Super Bowl 59? Really? Eagles, Super Bowl, NFL. You know what? I even missed one. It's his last name, Brahman, 49, and he's dead 49 days before the Eagles open the season on the 4th day of the 9th month. Confirmation bias. Yeah. Again, he played for the Saints, who hosted the Super Bowl. He started with Houston, which is where Jalen Hurts is from, the quarterback for the Eagles. Man, oh man, the confirmation bias. I feel like when people come around and say that this is confirmation bias, they're confirming that they're retarded. I feel like that's actually the thing that's happening. By the way, be sure to let me know what you guys think about renaming the channel confirmation bias. I got to try something here to get back in the algorithm. We got to try something because renaming it Number Games has not helped. It seems like it's true. Anytime the channel starts to get momentum, like if I get 3 videos in a row that get decent views, the next like 10 videos just get absolute dog shit views. It's like, okay. It's this game that they play. Unsubbing people, taking away likes. Oh, Interscope. He's on Interscope. Haven't I talked about the Jesuits and Interscope with what they did to Tupac? So this is all starting to make more sense. He's on the same label that Tupac was on. The debut album made it to 34. Let me see when these singles came out. The single came out on the 86th day of the year. And now he's been 86 to age 46. Let's see. March 27th. So he's dead 112 days after the anniversary of that song. Remember, the Jesuits operate in 112 countries. How many countries do the Jesuits operate in? It's like 112 on, Bad Boy Records. Jesuit fingerprints all over everything done with Diddy. Again, we said a year in advance why Diddy'd go down at 54. One of the gazillion correct predictions. Same Jesuit lawyer from Georgetown established by 54-year-old John Carroll that took down R. Kelly at 54, taking down Diddy. But yeah, okay, so again, the Jesuit Order 177, 56 days after the birthday. Or no, it wasn't 56 days after the birthday. Hold on, what was it? It was 56 days after the album. 56 days after the album, 112 days after the single. Not to mention those numbers are divisible by each other, right? 56 times 2 is 112. The other single, Caramel, came out on September 11th, really? That's the day Jay-Z put out the blueprint when he was on Rockefeller Records, like the Rockefellers are responsible for the World Trade Centers. And for some more familiar numbers, remember the World Trade Centers were 110 stories tall? 3 flights that hit targets added up to 263, the 56 prime. Thank you very much, Jamie. I appreciate that. Early, they sent over 42 for my 42nd birthday. I appreciate that, Jamie. And you know what? That happens to be the birthday number 42. So All right. If we can get all 40-some thousand subscribers, and we should have a whole lot more since we had a whole lot more in the past before the channel's deleted. If we can get all 40-some thousand subscribers and send over $42 tomorrow, we will open GematriaEffectNews in Times Square and be out there every single day, but I won't hold my breath. But that is what this work needs. It just needs to be out in a city like New York every day. Because when we were out in New York, when we were out there in New York speaking in front of audiences, we were making people stop and listen, especially when we went out in that busy area where the bookstore was. That was... And YouTube took that video down so fast, which is just disgusting. There was no reason for that video to be taken down. Us speaking on the streets of New York, making people stop and listen for blocks. Shout out to, oh my God. Sorry, it's a sleep deprivation. My friend who rides the bike all around New York and makes the great videos, who brought out the great audio equipment. I can't believe I can't think of his name right now. I feel bad. But yeah, it was magical actually when he showed up, because my speaker died faster than it should have, and then he was right there. He came rolling up with his bike. His bike had a trailer with all this audio equipment. Boom. We were like the closest thing to, I guess it was like a spoken word concert out on the corners of New York City. But yeah, that is what this work needs. It needs to be out in a city like that every day. Just doing the broadcast live on the streets of New York, getting people to interact every day. And that's the thing, you can do it every day. Not because of confirmation bias, because this is what's going on every single day. How's September 11th line up? So the upcoming, wow, that's crazy. So he died 56 days after the anniversary of their first album, and also 56 days before the anniversary of September 11th, their other big single. That's a distance of 112 days. Like it's 112 days after the first single. Man. And don't forget, YouTube deleted that whole channel, and that channel had way more subs. That channel had so many more subs than this channel has now, and I hardly even use that channel, but it grew a lot because people liked when we did the cross-country tour, Pound and Payment from Seattle to New York, speaking out on the streets of America. But remember, they deleted that channel exactly 263 days after September 11th, 2022, the day we were out there, the 56 Prime. Man, more confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is amazing. Where's this group based out of? I see it was 309 days from the last New York. We thought to take the Reds with the runs today, because if they lost by 1, they'd win. Whoever was going to win the game was going to be plus 39 in run differential in the Reds New York game today. Remember, NY 39, New York 39, New York, NY 39, NYC 39. And sure enough, 1-run game, Mets won by 1 and became plus 39 in run differential for the year. Did you guys see what happened in the Yankees New York series? It ended with somebody on 39 losses, like it does almost every time they meet. Every time it's a possibility when they meet, it does happen. I'm curious about the lyrics to Caramel now. What's their group called again? City High. City High. Those were some high towers in the city that came down on 9/11. I got to see what's in these lyrics. You can say I'm plain Jane, but it's not the same. It's a different type of plane, but it does stand out. I ain't in no big names. Wait, I can't read. It's too late. I ain't into big names, but I like nice things. I watch boxing matches and football games. I guess they had to put the in there to make it all flow. I wouldn't mind being an actress, but I love to sing. I like going out talking walks. Is this right? Isn't it? Wouldn't it be taking walks? I like going out talking walks. That can't be right. Taking walks and stuff. I don't round that many girls because they talk too much. Does that mean I don't be around girls too much because they talk too much? Is that street talking? I enjoy quiet nights at home because I'm next to you. Though I'm ain't a virgin. Is that really how the lyrics go? That don't mean I'm having sex with you. Uh, Everywhere I go, I'm spotted, and everything I want, I got it. 5'5" with brown eyes, smile like the sunrise. Okay, so obviously a girl's singing this. That chorus, I don't know about that chorus. Man, music, like, when Motown was first established by the numbers in the year 59, like Black History Month ends on the 59th day of the year, like Negro Slave Blues Ross is 59. You just listen to that era of music. I mean, just everything about it's better, right? Because you actually have a band. You have like people on the stage making the music. It's not, it just, as time's gone on, technology has replaced people. Now it's the synthesizer, I can't talk, you know what I'm saying? The guy that knows how to do the drum machine and just put it all together with the music machine. And you don't even need a band anymore. And I mean, there's something to that too. Technology and the ability to produce music on that is a talent as well. It's just, I'm saying, to me, it's like you go watch a show, you got the band performing in the back, you got the really good singers on the front singing songs with lyrics that make sense. I mean, sir, like, are these the real lyrics? Though I'm ain't a virgin? I mean, come on, man. It's just like society just got trashier and trashier. Music got trashier and trashier. Everything's just gotten dumber. We're just getting replaced more and more with technology. I mean, again, Motown. So many good songs, good message, amazing music. And not to mention, I mean, it's sampled to death in hip hop, right? Really, if you, that would be a way. Like if somebody looks back, or if it's like 1,000 years from now, and people look back and just see the decline of humanity, just look at the music. Just like look at these songs that they did in the 60s. Oh, these are good songs. 70s, not bad. 80s, I don't know. I think they're kind of weird. Whoa, 90s. But then they're like in the 2000s. I guess this was 2001. You know, you know what? Like the moment that music started to get really bad, it's when Nelly came out with the Band-Aid on his face. Oh my God. I just all across the board. It's just like all music was just total shit. Nelly. That like to me in my mind, that's when the downfall of commercial music, but it was a lot better. When Nelly came out, woo, man, just everything fell apart. And why do you have a Band-Aid on your face? Like your music sucks, and what's with the Band-Aid? Anyway, I don't see really the like this isn't as obvious as why they put out Jay-Z's The Blueprint on Rockefeller Records on the same date, in light of the Rockefellers being responsible for the World Trade Centers and blueprints having to do with buildings. But it did start with the word plane, even though it was a different type of plane. And we did see what's very interesting. Man, she says that 5'5" with brown eyes a lot. So I mean, give me the like here. Let's go to the Temptations and just read the lyrics to My Girl and just see how it compares. Let me see how it compares. I've got sunshine on a cloudy day when it's cold outside. I got the month of May. I guess you could say, what can make me feel this way? My girl. I got so much honey, the bees envy me. I've got a sweeter song than the birds in the trees. I mean, I guess there's not a lot written in that song, is there? Oh, hold on. I was going to say, wait a minute. It's not that short, is it? I don't need no money, fortune, or fame. I've got all the riches, baby, one man can claim. And now it's, ladies, leave your man at home. The club is full of ballers. And their wallets are full blown. It's just the exact opposite, right? It's like, hey, go cheat on your boyfriend because there's a guy with more money at the club. Yeah, that'll be good for your soul and your happiness and society. Yeah, anyway, I mean, there's a million songs like this. The lyrics make sense. They're well put. They're sung nicely. The band's behind them. I'm telling you, society just needs to go back in time. We just need to throw away all this technology shit. Put it all away. It's all banned. You got to play an instrument if you want to make a song. Yeah. Again, for all you young guys that grew up in this age sucks. Cell phones suck. I knew it. I was the last person to have a cell phone. I saw the whole problem with it is the moment it came out. I was like, well, if you got a cell phone, that means people know that. Like, so they don't want to answer the phone. It's and now actually people don't even answer the phone. Right? You just get ghosted. Everyone texts, but yeah, these tracking devices. Everyone's staring them out. And that's the thing, too, that sucks. You're out in public, right? Everybody's like staring at their phone. Everyone's got headphones in. You can't even talk to anybody. Look, I'm on the bus. Everybody's got earbuds in. Nobody can even hear anyone else. Anyway. I can't remember. Did I run this guy's name? Robbie Pardlo? I know Robbie's another 33. Got that 72 like Jesuit order. Dies on the big Jesuit date. Doesn't mean he's a Jesuit, but they'll choose people for those reasons. They'll be like, they got the numbers that fit our ritualism. Oh, yeah. I was going to look up Wyclef Jean because there was something about Wyclef Jean in this group. The song is connected to Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. Remember, Eddie Murphy lost his brother at 58 57 in his 58th year of life after Prince died at 57, who used Charlie Murphy in his skits. Martin Lawrence, who lived in apartment 42 on the 42nd parallel. It uses a sample of Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg's The Next Episode. When did that song came out? What in 2000? So wow, they used the sample that quick. Normally they don't sample a song that's. Hold on. Came out July 4th, 2000. Yeah, I was in high school when that came out. I don't remember this song. Wyclef Jean's the producer on this song. He got the October 17th birthday, day leaving 75 days left in the year. It's also the first of the last 76 days of the year. Let me see how it lines up with old Wyclef here. Look at that. Do you guys see it? Do you see why it matters that he died 273 days after Wyclef's birthday? He produced the song that came out on what day? It came out on the 27th day of the third month. And of course, if you count the span, it becomes 274, like the Jesuit motto, Isus hominum salvator. Again, that's in the logo. That's the sun when the Catholic Church has been celebrating the sun's birthday since 274 AD. It's also 39 weeks on the nose, the big New York number. I forgot to look. Is this a New York group? Where are they from? City High. They were nominated for Best R&B Performance by a Duo or Group at the 44th Annual Grammy Awards. That probably has something to do with his death as well. As we know, 44 is fateful. It's 23 years later. February 27th. He's dead 20 weeks after that anniversary. Death is 20 like time. Hold up. What would you do? No. City High. I thought I saw something a minute ago. No, I didn't. That was Alicia Keys' big year. That makes sense because I was that would have been in my freshman year of college. I started in summer 2001. I remember when I came back from college that summer, my sister was all into Alicia Keys. Okay. Yeah. Well, since their big song sampled Dr. Dre's beat, how's that line up as well? Dr. Dre's getting up there. I think Dr. Dre made it past 59, didn't he? He's got a February 18th birthday, doesn't he, Dr. Dre? Let's see. He had that weird aneurysm thing the other year, but he's still ticking. Unless the Eminem thing's true. Eminem said he's dead in his basement a long time ago. And you know, Dr. Dre used to say he rocks his khakis with the cuff and a crease, but then at the Super Bowl 56, he was wearing skinny jeans. Like, wait a minute. What happened to that guy from The Chronic? All right, February 18th. Oh, that would have been 9 days more, huh? 149, 35th prime, big rap number. Snoop Dogg's on the next episode, but it's Dre who makes all the beats. Snoop has the same birthday as Kamala Harris. Remember how he was carrying the torch at the Olympics after they did the pass the torch ritual with Biden to Kamala? I think the Wyclef one is the main one since he was the producer of the song. 273 days after Wyclef's birthday. And again, the song came out on 27/3. It lost to Destiny Child's Survivor. Okay. How old is Wyclef? Wyclef's going to turn 56 this year with those 56s. His full name's 60, like how old Dr. Dre is right now. Okay. I'll do a written post on it earlier, but the 56 days from the album, 112 days from the one single, 56 days from the other single, the Wyclef thing, I think those are the main pieces. And of course, 46, just the big sacrifice number. He died on 49 date numerology as well. 7 plus 17 plus 25, Wyclef Jean. What's Wyclef doing these days? Isn't he a politician? Why did I think Wyclef Jean became a politician? I thought he did, but I'm not seeing anywhere on here where it talks about politics. I guess he's just active in Haiti's politics and philanthropy, it says. Okay. He was appointed ambassador at large of Haiti and later ran for the 2010 Haitian presidency. Deemed ineligible, though. Okay. So he sort of is in Haiti's politics. All right. Okay. Something else about this day in history. I didn't know about this, but in light of just 201 and flooding in history, there was a major flood on this day in 1977, 48 years ago. Supposedly 84 people killed on the 201st day of the year in the Jesuit order 201 and 84. Says the flood came 88 years after the infamous Great Flood of 1889 that killed more than 2,000 people in the town. The thunderstorm stalled over the area on that day that brought down all the rain. And again, this is in the era of. I look at what day the article was initially published. Notice how they published it on November 13th. November 14th, the anniversary of the first cloud seeding experiment in the U.S. in 1946, when flooding's 46. Yeah. Something tells me what happened there is a lot like what happened in the Asian nations today. Again, if you missed the stream earlier today, Asia got smashed on the 201st day of the year. Again, weather control. First act of weather warfare goes back to the Jesuit order's birthday. Weather control and the Jesuit order. And if you missed that stream, it didn't get many views. We just went through all the major weather events that have happened in the month of July, synced up with Genesis 7 about the flood. Genesis 7:4, God says, get the ark, Noah. So anyway. I think we can leave it there for now. Thank you to the super chatters. Duff said, this should be the only channel that exists on YouTube. I just recently purchased your book, Number Games, and it's amazing. I appreciate your work, Zach. Hey, I appreciate that, Duff. Thank you so much. Thanks for getting the book. By the way, I saw on Amazon the other day, it said my book was sold out. I don't know if that means they're not going to sell it anymore. Let me see if it still says that. Uh-oh. Maybe they're not going to sell it anymore because when you search Number Games, it doesn't even pop up now. Uh-oh. Well, when you type it in like that, the Kindle version's there. They took away more. Reviews. Wow, they made the price really high. It doesn't say sold out anymore, but the price is really high now. Good God. I can't control the price on Amazon. That's all them. Again, when you self-publish with BookBaby, the deal is that they have distributors and then they just set all the prices. I don't think my commissions ever change per book. It's just like in stone. It's like $2 per copy. And granted, since it came out, everything does cost more, so maybe that's part of the reason it's so expensive. But wow, I mean, when it first came out, what were they charging? They were charging like $15, weren't they? It's almost double the price now. It sold out though the other day, so there were no copies remaining. So I don't know, but the price has gone up a lot because I forget what it was at before. I want to say before it was, I guess not a lot, but I think before they were selling it for like somewhere around $20 or $24. Hey, thanks for getting the book though. And Sarah with the big 50. Sarah, you didn't have to do that. You've already donated so much over the years, but I appreciate it. Happy birthday, Zach. All the best to you and your beautiful family. I appreciate that. I got just the perfect gift for 42, a little ruby. And isn't it funny? The day that Sweet Lady broke the news to me that we were having a daughter, it was Father's Day in 2024, because she said she wasn't going to know until the baby was born. I was like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay to wait for the surprise until the day the baby's born. But when she told me that, she actually already knew, and she was going to reveal it to me on Father's Day, which she did. And I remember it was on Tupac's birthday that year. It was June 16, 2024, which was the date with 66 numerology. We'd talked about this stuff. Again, Sweet Lady and I have been together forever. We said if we ever have a daughter, her name will be Ruby. And if we have a boy, his name will be Ace. And, but it dawned on me that day when she told me this girl, I was like, wow, that's crazy. Today has 66 date numerology. 66 is the 11th triangular number. We'd been together for 11 years and change when she was pregnant. But And then a weird thing that happened this year on April 2nd, 4/2, I have a tenant whose name is Ruby, and their place got burglarized. I thought that was so weird. So, anyway. Nobody better touch my Ruby at age 42. I don't think we're going to have any problems, though. I don't think we're going to have any problems. So, and by the, I want to say something real quick to some of you guys that worry too much about things. I want to scroll down here. This is the latest. This is the 8-month photo. We took that today. Today's actually 8 months and 4 days. Her birthday's the 16th, so 8 months old today. But yeah, we've been learning to not be afraid of the water. Last week, her toy floated out in front of her, and she reached for it, and she went all the way under the water. I'll never forget how her face looked so shocked under the water, but we just picked her up real quick. And again, if you don't when children get hurt, if you don't act over the top, you're like, oh, you're okay, you're tough, they usually get over it pretty quick. I learned that with children a long time ago, but it was this one. Again, mom gets all these ideas for the photos, but somebody left a long write-up about how their sister is traumatized because their parent put photos from when they were a child on the internet like this, and that sister's traumatized because apparently some weirdos got a hold of the photos, and she's very concerned what those weirdos might do with the photos. Somebody, if you read through the comments, you'll read this person's comments, these long paragraphs they wrote. You guys, that kind of stuff is, to me, it's just who cares? If some weirdo took this photo and did weird, inappropriate things with it, really, I don't care. To me, that doesn't matter. I feel bad for that person. To me, it's just the photo is meant to just brighten your day. For 99.999% of people, that's all it's going to do. Oh yeah, there are good things in the world. Look at that little sweetie pie. For some weirdo out there, I don't want to talk about the things let's just put it this way. If there's some weirdo out there touching himself to photos of babies, that to me, I feel bad for that person. When you're writing paragraphs about that's why this photo shouldn't be out there because there's people in the world doing that, who cares? Who cares if there's people out there in the world why are you even thinking about it? Why are you even thinking about it? No, I will raise this child right. I'll teach them to be a responsible person. I'll teach them that, yeah, there are some weirdos in the world, but you shouldn't let fear rule over you, but you also just can't trust everybody the instant you eat them. But yeah, some of the stuff you guys worry about and that's in your heads, it's just you got to stop. You got to stop. The only thing really to think about is, yeah, nice photo. A lot of people, like I said, it'll just brighten their day, or they don't even care. They got other things to do. But what some weirdo might do with a photo, I mean, come on, this is man. Some of the comments you guys leave, it's just. There are too many things to worry about other than that. And for all the people who would come around here and say, well, the things you worry about, why does it matter if this football player... Again, the things I'm talking about are the things that impact culture and move people and the things they're fixated on. Again, I think what I'm exposing is important. I think understanding that the world of entertainment is full of ritual murder, I think everybody should know that because almost every person coming up in our society is an American dreamer who wants to be part of this entertainment world. Are you sure? Are you sure that's what you want to aspire to be? Because you might end up being the next Brian Brahman. You might end up being one of these guys who's dead in their 20s. We talked about entertainers, child actors dead in their late teens, 20, just getting their life started. This world of entertainment is messed up. No, people should know about these things. It might change the priorities of the world. Imagine if instead of children, I also think that's part of what they do to us. They make us think we can all be the next entertainer, big star. And that's not what we should be fixed fixated on or focused on in our youth. We should be focused on, doing something realistic. Excel, be the next great mechanic in town. Be the next great electrician in town. We need a bunch of doctors who come up who didn't go into the medical profession because they want to get rich, but because they wanted to fix the medical profession. They want to help people be healthy and not have to pay gazillion dollars to go to the doctor. Imagine if we had a flood of brilliant minds becoming doctors, and all of a sudden there's just a mass of doctors, and they don't work for a great salary. They didn't become a doctor because they want to live in a mansion. They became a doctor because they wanted to see society healthier and help out people in need. Imagine if young people were realizing that their government is really corrupt and they don't want to grow up to be adults and have to live under and put up with this government and get taxed and do all the things that all of us adults have to do. They want to make sure it's changed by the time. They're not going to vote in rigged selections by the time they come up. They're going to speak out against the system too. They're going to put an end to it. Again, it's just, to me, that what I talk about, those are all the things that I think drops in the bucket for how the world could change. And I don't know, maybe things like that need to be explained more because a lot of people don't have much of imaginations and can't connect dots. And we see that when the common lemming comes across here, they're just like, oh, numerology, bruh? Stupid, bruh. Are you kidding me? Let Brian Brahman's family rest, bruh. It's like, oh, I'm sure Brian Brahman's family hopped on YouTube to see what the YouTuber said about his death. These videos are made for the cattle who file into these stadiums for the rigged games that are full of ritual sacrifice to get them to think twice about what they're supporting. Leave Brian Brahman's family alone, bruh. Plus, numerology's stupid, and this is confirmation bias. Okay. Anyway, thank you, A, for the big $1. Logan Thomas with the big 10. Thank you again, Logan. Another ring on the tree. Great year of work again. Keep cooking. Yeah, truly. Yeah, a good way to put it, Logan. It's already been almost a year since we out. It'll probably be a minute before I get out on pound payment again. Unless everybody's going to drop $42 for the birthday and I can say, look, sweet lady, they all gave me $1 million for my birthday because they want me to pound payment, which probably isn't going to happen. But no, these days the responsibilities are to be around the house. And again, a lot of family life going on over here. And man, my dad told me today that he said, I'm remembering now that you didn't start sleeping through the night until you're about 1.5 years old. And perhaps that's what's going on because I heard things got better after 4 months. But man, I'll tell you what, the last, I think it's gotten worse at the 4-month point up to now. Woo, sweet girl, man. She just does not want to sleep at night. Open Up says, hopefully when Ruby turns 42, we'll live in a better world. Let me do the math on that. I'll be 84. Crazy. If we still make it. Oh, 202-5, man, you didn't need to send all that money over here. He's sending over his winnings from our contest. Thank you, 202-5. Appreciate that. All right, some nice early happy birthday presents. I do appreciate it, you guys. Yeah. Oh, man, time flew by. It's already almost 10 o'clock. All right, I better wrap it up there. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see what tomorrow brings. And real quick, one last scan of the headlines before we're out of here. Again, we started with the chump demanding the Redskins name back 36 days after his birthday because Redskins equals 36, and it's not confirmation bias. And this whole thing too that goes on with politics, just everything about our political system is so dumb. How they change the district maps every election cycle because they study like, oh, this is where our base is this year. This is where our base is this year. Just things like that should be enough to get people not to vote. The whole thing is just so manipulated and contrived. And really, these are reasons to get rid of all these things. The whole electoral college needs to get thrown out. Let the people vote then. They don't even let us vote, you guys. The whole thing's stupid, but it should just be popular vote. I hate when people lobby for the electoral college. It's like, why would you ever lobby for this? How many presidents have been recently elected that didn't get the majority popular vote? How dumb is that? I mean, in what world isn't that dumb? I don't know where people come up with these weird arguments. Electoral college is another one of these bullshit things to make sure that they have all these levers in place to make sure they get their chosen stooge in there. 2016, Bernie wins the electoral thing for the primary for the Democrats and then doesn't get the nomination on some technicality, and they put Hillary in there. I mean, that's you support this system, you're a moron. And I know how you morons are. You're the same ones who come by here and say, numerology's dumb, bruh. I never said it wasn't dumb. What I'm saying is these people use it every day. I also wouldn't say it's dumb either, but that's not the argument. The argument I'm making is this is what these people are doing, and this is why. Kabbalah. And that's the other thing I always see morons come by and say, you never say why they do this. Like, really? I say it on almost every video. I mean, I wrote 2 books about it that it's in the opening pages explained why they do it. And that is the thing about explaining a halfway complex topic to in every video. It's like there has to be a teaching element of the same things over and over. But yeah, if everybody was familiar with these things, it would be a lot easier for the masses to understand it on the first uptake. But that isn't the way it is. And that's the thing too, you guys. You know, I played the video the other day from that Tennessee guy. I forget his name. He had the bandana on. His name was like Tennessee Lee or something like that. I forget what it was. His video popped out today, and I was just like, okay. This one, the clickbaity title, I'm going to click on it. I click on it. He's showing Trump at age 45, remind you, at age 45, and he's reading the report and showing the video of this thing from back when Trump was 45. You know, Trump oversee beauty pageants with younger girls in it, and the articles explain that some of the girls in the room were as young as 14. And all these guys are checking out the girls. And in some of the footage, you can see that like Trump's like staring at this girl that's around 14, and he's staring really hard. And she's got her little, I don't know what the girly outfit is, but you can see like her ass cheeks and everything. And Trump is checking her out really hard. But anyway, as he's reading the article that goes along with it, he's like, this is Trump at 45 with 58 other men his age in the room. And I'm just like, see, these people don't even know what they're reading. Like we do right away. We get it right away. We remember what they did for the 58th election after Trump announced from the 58-story Trump Tower and called the election for him on the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall, as he said, run on a wall. But it's why I get annoyed. But this guy's video has, you know, hundreds of thousands of views and 30,000 likes. And the point is like, yeah, Trump is a creeper. I mean, I'm not arguing that. I mean, I've been saying that the whole time for a decade now. But these people don't realize that these stories are put out and the way they're numbered. It is part of, there's a reason they choose Trump, a guy who's been in a room staring at a 14-year-old girl's ass. But there's also a reason they're throwing those numbers right in the story. And see, none of it dawns on him. He says, that's weird that he became number 45. And I bet you that guy doesn't have a clue that he won the 58th election or announced from the 58-story Trump Tower all the 58 shit that went down. Remember Purple Rain? Remember it was the year of the 58th Grammys that he won, and Vanity died the day of the Grammys, the 58th, and then Prince, Mr. Purple Rain, died right before. Prince died 47 days before his 58th birthday when, you know, Trump has the big 47 connection. But Prince also died 201 days before the election was called for Trump. And, of course, 201's big with the Jesuits and the inauguration. But also King James, who died at 58. LeBron wins the finals on the real King James's birthday, and then Trump has his election in King James's Stadium, and it was all synced up with the Queen. He came out to Queen, we are the champions. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's annoying that people are oblivious to this information and just oblivious in general. It's like, doesn't anyone think about what they're reading, how all of these articles that they're reading are just numbered? By the way, let me show you one other thing from my favorite half-truther on YouTube. He got some footage that I had not seen. And if you guys haven't seen this, check this out. I mean, we knew what happened last July 13th was an obvious hoax from the get-go. You had to be brain dead to not know. But let me see. Where did he put this? Shit. It's one of these two videos. I've only watched 2 of his videos from the last 2 weeks.
You're just talking.
Hold on here. Let me see if this is the video. You guys got to see this footage. This is it. Okay. Okay, here he is, Brian. Brian's another guy who's on the record trying to dog this work. But look at, if you guys have not seen this, watch this.
Hey, this is Brian. Welcome back to the Disturbing Illusion channel. Did you happen to see the brand new secondary angle coming out of the Butler, Pennsylvania Miracle Gunshot Rally? Check this out. It says moments after shots were fired, a member of Trump's team rushes to the side of the stage to gather photographers.
President's been shot. Oh no. No. Either that or they're covering. We don't know. Either that or they're covering him. We love you. We love you, President Trump. We love you. We love you.
He ushers photographers in from the left side of the stage. You can see him right there.
President Trump.
Flag is low.
See, I mean, this is the part that's unbelievable. How they just we were talking about just on the 13th, under the 13 stripes with all the other 13s in it. I believe it was exactly 13 weeks from the Secret Service anniversary of being created, which was the day Lincoln was shot in history. I was just reading a new article about this too. They said Trump took the stage at 6:03 p.m. local time. Doesn't remind you of 63 when Kennedy was shot? Because remember, the fireman who was supposedly killed, Corey, let me see if I can spell his name right. Corey I just need to look up his name real quick. This is it. It equals 195, right? No, that's not spelled right then. Where's his actual spelling of his name? It's not right. Corey, this is it. Comparatory, this is it. Remember, the shooting was on the 195th day of the year. Corey Comparatory 195. Confirmation bias, bruh. And remember, Robert Kennedy got Secret Service protection out of this. His name's also 195 in reverse. But yeah, I mean, what theatrics to lower the flag? I mean, it just, and why would the Secret Service guy be ushering in the guys to take photos? And I'm sure that's the guy who won the what award did he get? The guy who captured the magic bullet photo. I'm sure that was him who got ushered in there for the New York Times, Mr. Magic. But he captured the bullet with his camera. It was such a great shot. And that's why it's embarrassing that we live in this day and age where they can report that shit, that his camera captured the bullet flying by. I mean, come on, man. But look how stage managed this is. It's gross. And they said this was the moment. And, I told you that day, it was just another sign that they were putting Chump back in.
Lowered into position, and it is lowered. This is weird.
We love you. Yes. Yes.
Look, enabling the photographers in the foreground to get a really good shot of Trump pumping his fist, saying, fight, fight, fight.
Supposedly it's a dangerous situation and they're ushering in photographers. I mean, come on, man.
With the flag being lowered above him.
Yes. We love you, President Trump.
Pausing for the photo.
He continues to move the photographers into position with help from his colleagues, it says. Now, I just want to show you, with the flag being lowered into position, you can see the camera kind of stays. See this black and then red band right here? The camera kind of stays at the same horizontal plane, and you can you can still see the black and red at the bottom while the flag is being lowered. It's not that the camera is going up to reveal the flag that's already there. It looks like the flag is actually being lowered into position. Look, you can even tell from the...
Yeah, I mean, it's just embarrassing. And don't forget the whole Butler thing. I mean, I called this out day one. I said, he's going to be put back in office at age 7. We've been talking about this way before the Hoax shooting happened, just about how there's 78 tarot cards in the deck, and the top cards are Trump cards, and they're going to put him back in at age 78, just like how Biden took office at age 78. But you see how Butler's 84 in reverse? He returned to Butler 84 days later. And that town, Butler's named after a 48-year-old man. And that's why I was saying, It could have made sense if they made Trump 47 or 48 if Biden didn't finish his term like the Gerald Ford prophecy. But, yeah, where's that footage been the whole time? Where's our news media at? I thought the First Amendment protects, they gave us this beautiful constitution so that we could always have a trustworthy media that wouldn't be intimidated by the government, and they'd always get us all the facts so we could make the most informed decisions. Where was that footage at? The footage of them lowering the flag while they stand for the photo op, and the Secret Service guys getting the photographers in place for all the right. Then remember the next hoax. Not to mention, remember the Secret Service was also 159 years old while this shit was going on, and then the next shooting was on the golf course on the 15th of September. It's maddening, man. And then Brian, who's doing this video, like he can present this, but he'll be like, well, Butler, yeah, he did go back and it's 7 sure he did return 84 days later, but I mean, what's that really add to it? Well, again, you sit there all day and you blame Jews for everything. Maybe it has something to do with those damn Jesuits that I keep talking about and how they synced it up with the Pittsburgh Pirates and how we called the All-Star game off it last year because they had the Pirates guy, Paul Skeens, on the mound 48 days after his birthday. As the AL picked up their 48th win and the Pirates went into the break 48-48 after the shooting outside of Pittsburgh in the town named after the 48-year-old, all synced up with the chump. Again, you don't see how this is the next level of decoding? The next level of information, Brian? I mean, yeah, this. But didn't we already know this is bullshit? I mean, I'm glad I have now seen this footage because, like I'm saying, I think this, people seen this when it happened, they probably would have been like, yeah, what the hell? But even the dummies, right? You know what the dummies would say? They'd be like, listen, man, it was an important moment. They're just getting the flag in there. God bless America, They'll start making it. Maybe they were trying to bring it in close to protect him to make it harder for the shooter to see. You never know. Plus, numerology's confirmation bias. But yeah, Brian's another one of these people that really, as far as I'm concerned, another one of these half-truthers that has blood on his hands for trying to undermine my work and shame what I'm doing. Because I still remember when, I was pretty much the only guy on YouTube was telling everybody why Biden was going to become number 46 weeks after the post. I still remember Brian's coverage. He's like, man, when I went to bed last night, it looked like Trump had won. I think they might have stolen it from him. It's like, when we've been talking about how, okay, this is the exact simulation that they did at Georgetown. For people who don't know this, who still don't know this, look at this, how President Biden's 144, and so is Jesuit order, and you can look it up. It was June 12th, 2020. The election was November 3rd, 2020, that year. Look at how the simulation at Jesuit Georgetown was 144 days for the election. Anybody can look this up. The transition here, let's just do it again. Transition Integrity Project, June 12, 2020, Georgetown. Go read about the Transition Integrity Project. It was on George. Wait a minute. Did they get rid of information? Okay, down here you can see that it was June 12th. Huh, they got rid of a lot of information here. They got rid of the specific. Wow. This is like how wow. You guys, we have changed the internet because you remember how it used to not be hard to find and again, everybody wrote about it, how Adam Lanza weighed 112 pounds. Look how hard it is to find now when you search it. It's like it doesn't exist. Again, that's why it's good that you can go back through my website where I archived everything. I have all the articles of Adam Lanza and 112 pounds. You do a web search for this, it just doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't exist anymore. He's born on the 112th day of the year. The whole thing with the Alex Jones suit was all 112. But yeah, Transition Integrity Project was June 12, 2020. Again, I know I got the screenshots for it. Hold on. This is what I hate about his time. See, you guys, that's one of the things that I'm really annoyed about. That we do live in this Orwellian age where they change information, and now with the AI and all this, I mean, you're seeing the AI videos that are out there, like people are like holding a potato, but it looks like they're holding a huge golden nugget, and it looks real in the video. Just in the future, Nobody is going to know what is what. Hold up. It was okay on the second Friday of June. I probably had to figure out that it was June 12th. Maybe they were being clever with it back then. So Friday, it was Friday, June 12th, 2020. The first Friday would have been the 5th. So that is the date it was. But yeah, it does kind of look like they were kind of trying to hide the date. And the thing about June 12th is it can be written 12/6, like 126. John Carroll, who founded Georgetown, his name is 126. And I think what that's about is Genesis 1:26, where God makes man. And we all know what happened to Kobe on January 26th, a different 126. Bryant's 26. Remember, Bear Bryant, the football coach, died 37 years to the day, January 26th, 83. Bryant of the Temptations died on the 26th of October. And again, God is 26. Adam is 26. God makes Adam in Genesis 1:26. We treat the game and its athletes like gods. Game 26, athlete 26. Look at what they just did to that Olympian, right? Dead at 49 after getting struck by lightning. Again, Zeus lives on Mount Olympus, the lightning god, connected to the Greeks like the Olympics. Anyway. All right, I keep going on and on and on, but I got to wrap it up. So, yeah, I had to get this footage out there. I'm going to have to show this over and over again. I'm going to find this video. But, and again, this is a reminder, too, about why you don't have to like people. The reason I check in on Brian's video sometimes is because, like I say, he's my favorite half-truther. I'm not happy that he's spent a lot of time trying to say that I'm a bad person and Gematria is bullshit. That's only his bad. He's proven that he's a total liar and fraud because he's criticized me for things I've said about him, which I think were fair. I think anything I've ever said about him is fair. But he's like, I'll never associate with a guy who said anything bad about me. And then meanwhile, he's debated all kinds of people who have bigger audiences because they've never been deleted or censored and because they're grifters. Like he used to be. He doesn't grift as much as he used to, so I appreciate that too. I don't know if his sponsors cut him or what, but his whole channel used to just be nothing but grift. But anyway, yeah, he's debated people who said way worse things about him, so it's like, oh. And you know what? What else is funny about Brian is his name is Brian Young, which equals 144. And again, when him and Owen Benjamin's born on the 144th day of the year, when they had their debate after Owen Benjamin called him all kinds of nasty things, they literally spent the first 15 minutes of their debate making fun of Gematria and the number 144. And I can't remember what it was. Was it stolen bicycle? It was. Owen was talking about this stolen bicycle and being born on the 144th day of the year and then asking Brian Young what he thought about it. I was like, this is weird. And Brian does say that he has the people at InfoWars on his Rolodex. He has their numbers, so I don't know what to say. But, he did watch the debate with Andrew Wilson, and he did talk about it, and he thought Andrew Wilson looked like an asshole. I thought that was interesting. So I was like, oh, so he was watching that too. But then he still didn't teach his audience about Gematria. Anyway. All right. Thank you again for all your guys' generosity. Shout out to MRelax79. Thank you. Happy early birthday. I will officially turn 42. Oh, it just ticked. It was on the 19th May of the hour. I was born at 7:19 p.m. So what's that? 21 at, well, now it's 20 hours and 59 minutes from now. All right, guys, but appreciate the generosity. Thanks to everyone who hit the like and the share. Again, if only I could get more of you guys to leave a short comment after the video's over. I really do feel like when you guys do that, sometimes you do it, you punch a bunch of comments in there. Usually the video does a lot better. When that doesn't happen, the videos are, well, all the views are pretty bad, but It's like you guys putting comments is what helps get the video from 2,000 views, where a lot of my videos just get stuck at, to 5,000 views, which also isn't great, but 5,000 is a lot better than 2,000. So leaving that short comment, if you just got 30 seconds, you can just write one word. It could be anything. It could be 2 letters. It could be 2 exclamation points, just anything. That's the way YouTube's goofy algorithm works. All right, guys. Thanks again. Appreciate all the people that do help out. And until next time.